Coming up, aviation crisis consultant Ken Jenkins helped families cope after the last Malaysia Airlines disaster. Tonight he's here to talk about the delicate balance between politics and emotions in this investigation.
While the international community tries to investigate the Malaysia plane crash in war-torn Ukraine, some families fear they will never recover the remains of their loved ones who were killed. And some of them say their voices are getting lost in the political fight over this downed jet. We continue our coverage tonight with aviation crisis consultant Ken Jenkins. We appreciate you being here very much tonight to talk about this. Let's talk about those hundreds of families who are waiting for the return of their loved ones. There's no time frame for them to get those bodies back. This has got to be so difficult, like the grieving process can never start for them.
And you're exactly right. The grieving process can't start for them. And the difficulty outside of the tragedy itself of having a plane shot down by a missile is then to see their loved ones laying in a field and people walking around the field with no regard to the bodies that are there or the personal belongings there. So they can't really move forward. They can't have a burial until those bodies are returned. And after sitting out where they've been out in the elements for 4 or 5 days, it makes the identification process even longer.
Well, it's just like kind of like a second assault. Like they are being victimized all over again. To see the bodies in the field, to hear the description from reporters and investigators who are out there of the smell in the air, to see belongings rifled through and looted. It's horrible, really.
It's probably one of the worst cases of second assault that I've seen, where you have the first assault, which is the accident itself, and then the second assault and the third assault and the fourth assault has certainly occurred here, such as the personal belongings, where you even had a reporter today from the UK that was going through luggage and showing the items, and then said, almost as an afterthought, I guess we really shouldn't be doing this.
Yeah, I guess not.
And family members are watching this, and what if you look at that luggage and you think, that's my loved ones, that's my daughters, or that's my sons, and now they want to know if they're ever going to get it back, and yet here are people that are desecrating the scene.
So lots of questions, wondering about belongings, wondering about the bodies. Are they getting any answers, these families, from Malaysia Airlines?
Well, the families are getting information from Malaysia that Malaysia knows to be accurate and true. Now, there are a lot of questions we're not sure that's accurate and true. So Malaysia Airlines can only give the information that most of us are probably hearing on the news. What they should be doing, if they're not already doing this, is providing the plans on what's going to happen when the bodies are identified and then released, and then how they'll be repatriated, and if personal belongings are indeed returned to the government of Ukraine, how those items are going to be processed and then returned to their families as well.
So you worked with Malaysia Airlines just a few months ago. You were there for several weeks working with the victims of the disappearance of their last flight. Do you think that the company is taking into account some of the things that you talked about in crisis management and dealing with what is so emotional, and then yet they still have a job to do in an investigation?
Right, they do, and that's the difficult balance for any company, an airline or others. How do you balance the company and corporate interests with the personal interests of the people that have been hurt? And I think what we're seeing now with Malaysia Airlines, I hope, with what's going on in Amsterdam at the hotel where the family members are, is this information is being provided to them. It is the #1 thing that family members want in the aftermath of an accident, is information. And if Malaysia Airlines has learned anything from 370, is that they better be providing that information to these families today.
But this too seems like a whole different situation. I mean, you've got the politics of this. You've got President Obama saying, listen, who is hiding what? Let's open up this crash/crime scene. Let's open it up.
Well, and I think everybody wants to see that, but particularly the families. But the first concern, I think, for many of the family members is the investigation piece will come second. They want their loved ones back now.
True.
They want to be able to have a burial or a cremation service and a memorial service so that they can start to move forward, pay respects, first of all, to their loved ones, and then be able to move forward with the event. In most cases where it's an accident, it can take a year or so to get the information as to what caused the accident. Well, we already know what caused it in this particular case. So I don't know that we're going to find any real surprises from the black box recorders that are going to help the families move forward. They've already seen what happened.
Right. Ken, I appreciate you coming in. This is always just such a horrible time we have to talk to you when things like this happen, but thanks, because it's providing some insight to what those families are going through, and then what we really globally can do as we watch on.
Thank you, Heather. I appreciate it. Thank you.